Alright, so it's December, it's cold outside, and for Hannah that means it's soup season. That girl loves soup, especially when it's cold outside like this, so this time of year we're always doing a bunch of soups. I figured it's time to start doing a couple recipe videos on that. Today we're going to do a potato soup. It's probably my favorite soup I make, so let's get started. We're going to take 5 strips of bacon and we're going to fry that up. We've got little lardons here. You really only need 4 for the recipe, but if you're like me, you're going to need 5 because you're going to be snacking on it. So try to consider that whenever you get started. We're just going to fry this up. Not much to this, but there is one important thing to note here. And I shouldn't have to tell you this, but don't throw out the bacon grease. We're going to use that to create a roux. And listen, I know that's probably not the healthiest way to go about it, but it'll be worth it. All right, this bacon is done. It is crispy. Now we're gonna take our onion. We got about 1/4 of an onion. We're gonna saute that with about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. I'm using fresh garlic as always. I really highly recommend that over garlic powder or stuff that comes in a jar. It's just going to be a lot better, I promise. We're going to saute this in that bacon grease. Let that cook for 2 or 3 minutes until it starts to become a little bit translucent. Then we're going to add our flour, and that's going to start to thicken up. We're going to cook that for about 2 or 3 more minutes to get all the flour taste out of it. Then we're going to add our liquids.
Sam, putting on bacon.
Don't know if you're wondering, but this smells amazing. All right, now that this is cooked for a little bit, we're going to take 1/4 cup of flour, throw that right in. And we got to make sure that we cook all of this. Let everything kind of come together for a full minute or so. It's going to almost turn into like a jam. And at that point, we're going to add our liquids, but you don't want to taste any of this flour. At this point, we're going to add 2 cups of whole milk and start working this in. We're also going to add our chicken broth. It's going to be 4 cups of chicken broth. Maybe 3.5 cups. Try not to do that. Take a heavy pinch of salt, or 2. Some fresh cracked black pepper. We're going to take just a little bit of fresh thyme. All right. This is almost to a simmer. So we're going to go ahead and add the potatoes. And we've got 6 potatoes here, cut up into little bite-sized pieces. Okay. Try to make them uniform as much as you can. They're going to cook better that way, cook more evenly. I've already made one mess, let's not do another one. I did it. Kind of surprised. Alright, give this about 15 to 20 minutes to cook. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and add a cup of Monterey Jack. I usually use cheddar, but we're out of good cheddar, so I'm going to add a cup of that. I'm also, at this point, going to go ahead and add our secret ingredient. That's right. I've been adding this stuff to my potato soup for a long time, and it takes it over the top. Hannah actually doesn't even know this. I've been adding this to it because she doesn't like a lot of hot stuff. It really doesn't add much spice, but it adds a ton of flavor, and it's Tapatio hot sauce. Sounds like we're sponsored by them. I promise we're not. I just really like a couple dashes of this stuff in the potato soup. It adds a different element of flavor that you just don't normally get, and I promise you it's good. It'll be worth it. So we're going to add a couple dashes of that hot sauce. It's got those Mexican flavors that really, really make a difference. And that's pretty much it. We're just going to let this cook now for about 15 minutes. We're going to take a fork to it and make sure that it's tender. Once you can put a fork through it pretty easily, it's good to go. You don't want to just keep cooking this. You can't overdo it. I've learned from experience. I thought my soup wasn't thick enough, so I just let it keep cooking, and the potatoes will kind of disintegrate and turn into mush. You don't want that, so try to check it regularly. After about 15 minutes, it's going to be close. Somewhere between 15 and 20, it'll be good to go. All right, so this soup is done. It's been about 20 minutes and it's fork tender. And there's really not much more to it. Just going to plate it up. Just like that. We've got a little bit of white American cheese. I like to put on top of it. It makes it a little bit creamier. Add that to it. Some of your bacon pieces. A little more of the bacon. It's pretty much all there is to it. It's pretty simple, but it's really, really delicious. All right, this looks really hot, but I'm gonna go in for it anyways. It's so good. Throw out your old potato soup recipe, start using that one. I promise you won't regret it.
Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Be sure to share this video with your friends, comment on what you want to see us cook next, and as always, thanks for watching.